Here's everything new on the iPhone 16 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro Max. This video is brought to you by ESR, that just introduced their new lineup, especially for Apple's latest devices. But more on them soon. Before we get into the phones, be sure you subscribe and follow for the latest Apple news. Starting with the bare basics. iPhone 16 series has technically 3 new finishes. It comes in natural, white, black, and desert titanium. The new black and white are more and less saturated than before, making them look more black and brighter white. I think this is a big improvement, as before they really just looked like various shades of gray. They were not my favorite by any means, though it is a bummer that the blue is being discontinued. The desert titanium is akin to a gold or metallic brown that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be excited about. The finish is also now a satin finish versus the streaked lines or brushed finish that we saw on the iPhone 15 Pro series. I like the satin finish better, and I do wish that we'd see more colors, but this is at least better than before. The phones themselves are, as predicted, larger by 0.2 inches for the displays, going to 6.3 and 6.9 inches each for the Pro and Pro Max respectively. This, combined with other internal changes, led to a slight weight increase for the duo. The iPhone 16 Pro, for example, went from 187 to 199 grams. The pixel density of the displays has stayed the same, as Apple did increase the resolution. Again, on the iPhone 16 Pro, the screen went from 2556 by 1179 to 2622 by 1206. Other screen features remain the same, including 2000 nits of peak outdoor brightness, True Tone support, P3 wide color gamut support, and ProMotion. Though Apple does mention it has 1 nit as the minimum now, that could be good if it can get darker in darker situations. Internally, Apple has the latest A18 Pro silicon. It keeps a similar configuration as before, with 2 high-performance cores and 4 high-efficiency cores, and a 6-core GPU. That said, they use a new 2nd Gen 3nm process to improve performance and power efficiency. According to Apple, it has a 17% increase in memory bandwidth, a 15% faster CPU, a 20% faster GPU, and 2 times as fast hardware-accelerated ray tracing for great gameplay performance. You can bet Apple also added a lot of improvements here on the chip level for Apple Intelligence, including a more powerful neural engine. The A17 Pro was already very capable, so this thing is gonna fly. Apple also delivered on one of the most requested changes for iPhone, which is improving the thermals. There's been a huge improvement with sustained performance thanks to a graphite substructure. Apple says it's up to 20% better. This is massively important across the board, from gaming to video editing to Apple Intelligence to the cameras. Both phones have 8 gigs of memory, which is the same as the last gen models. Speaking of the cameras, they were easily the biggest update here. Starting with the new capture control button. But first, okay, so these new iPhones are pretty cool. You know what's almost as cool? Our sponsor for this video that just launched an impressive line of new cases, ESR. Even though these phones were just announced, ESR already has their cases up for order, taking into consideration the new sizes and, yes, even the capture button. All 3 sizes are part of the Stash Stand line, which integrates this amazing metal kickstand directly into the camera module. From 15 to 85 degrees, you can choose the perfect viewing angle for any activity, whether video calling, streaming, gaming, or browsing. I know a good YouTube channel I could recommend. There's even enough room if you want to put on a battery pack. I've got 3 versions here. The Tough case, which has the most drop protection, 7 times the military standard. The Hybrid, with its clear back that allows that new goldish color to shine through, or my favorite, the Soft case, which is the most minimalistic and comfortable. They have a sleek design and a slim yet durable back you can trust without sacrificing fast MagSafe charging speeds. ESR claims in their test they can charge an iPhone 15 Pro Max in the stashed case stand around 30 minutes faster than comparable cases from other brands. If you need a screen protector, ESR has you covered there too, with a new model that's so easy to install and automatically removes the dust on application. Grab yours for your new iPhone at the links in the description. So that new button, what we used to call the capture button, is called the capture control. It's basically what we expected. Apple did a lot with this new button and a ton via software. It's a capacitive button that can act basically as a trackpad. I'll have a whole video on how to best to use this button, but it's got a litany of features. You can press it to open the camera app, swipe to change settings, and press it again to take a photo or video. Apple's stock app lets you control a bunch of things, including exposure, depth, zoom, cameras, styles, and tone with this button. And third-party apps give you even more options. Speaking of the photographic styles, Apple has vastly improved the experience here. Thanks to the upgraded ISP, these can be applied and changed in real time. There's also a whole new interface for designing styles and customizing colors for your preference. The big change to the cameras is the new 48 megapixel ultra-wide lens, up from 12 megapixels. Despite the rumors, this did not enable higher resolution spatial video, which is still capped at 1080p. I'm pretty bummed about this one. You can take spatial photos now though, so that's a plus. On the video front, 4K Dolby Vision can be recorded at 120 frames per second in what Apple calls cinematic slow-mo. QuickTake video, by the way, is now 4K 60. I use QuickTake all the time and hated how grainy the video could look because it was at a lower resolution, but it was so much faster to start. Apple put a big emphasis on audio this time around. The 4 studio quality mics now have wind cancellation to help with outdoor shoots. Otherwise, there are new mixing options for the audio. You can do things like prioritize the people who are in frame, mix it like a movie with dialogue in the front and other noises in surround, or just clean it up like was recorded in studio. The battery is definitely better by quite a bit. So the iPhone 16 Pro is rated for up to 27 hours of video playback, compared to 29 hours on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, or 23 hours on the iPhone 15 Pro. That's right, you almost get as much battery on the new Pro as the old Pro Max. The new iPhone 16 Pro Max extends that further, promising 33 hours of video playback time. Both phones charge via MagSafe, but the new phones can charge up to 25 watts with updated MagSafe accessories, compared to only 15 watts before. There is Wi-Fi 7, which is a big upgrade for wireless performance. I can do a whole video on Wi-Fi 7 soon, so be sure you're subscribed so I can go through all of those benefits. Pricing has stayed the same for the new phone, starting at $999 for the iPhone 16 Pro with 128 gigs of storage. They'll all be released on September 20th. Thank you again to ESR for sponsoring this video. You can learn more about them and their new lineup at the link below in the description. Be sure to check it out so you can protect and power your new or old iPhone. Stay tuned for more Apple news. Let me know which model you'll be ordering down below, and I'll catch you in the next video.